La da da da, la da da da, la da da, la da da.
Hi everyone, Merry Christmas. Today we're going to talk about anxiety. I did not know that most of my life I had anxiety until I started watching TV shows or TikTok or Instagram, and I realized I have anxiety. And I don't know if it was my upbringing, maybe so. I always thought I was getting in trouble with my mother and I would get a whipping. Maybe that's where some of my anxiety, I'm sure, because you never knew what was going to set her off or make her angry. She was very strict. I think that's why when I went on dates I turned into a wild person, because I just loved the freedom. And I think a lot of my anxiety is from my marriage. I was constantly always walking around on eggshells, never knew when he was going to get set off. So some of my anxious moments is when I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I envision in my mind the car breaking down. And what's even worse is the car breaking down with a full tank of gas. Yeah. Yeah. So I've had a lot of breakdowns since my divorce. Yeah. So that's anxiety for me. Or I've been in 5 car accidents. So a lot of my anxiety comes from that, because I think I'm, going to be wiped out any minute because there's so many crazy drivers on the road. So, some other anxious times is when, if I've got dirty dishes, I always say, okay, here's where everybody's going to visit, right? So you have to go do the dishes. But yeah, I have a lot of anxiety. Most of it is trauma driven, for sure. Definitely for sure. And I think it's just in my DNA. I know I'm a type A personality, that is someone high strung. I'm definitely set in my ways. I know that. It's because I've been alone for 15, 16 years now. I was in a marriage for 40, but I've been alone since 2007, pretty much, off and on. My son or my daughter would come and visit. But yeah, it's the car accidents. My daddy never whipped us unless my mother forced him to, and then he didn't really want to do it. And then my marriage, and then 5 car accidents. Yeah, I have a lot of anxiety. But I also know that if anything was to happen, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I've lived a pretty goddamn good life. A lot of people have been jealous of me my whole life. I don't know why. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be jealous of the life I've had. When I had my very first major surgery, I just knew I was going to die. I'd done my last will and testament and everything, but I lived. I was fine. Yeah, that can bring on a lot of anxiety, getting ready for an operation. I get that. Also, I think we were forced to go to church 3 times a week, and I always dreaded Sunday mornings. Going to church wasn't pleasant because my mother would force us to, and so yeah, Sundays are a little anxiety ridden when I was growing up. And so thanks for listening. Hope you are channeling your anxiety